Hey, Father, Yahuwah Most High, Abba, we just come before you on this most set-apart feast day. Father, we thank you for sending your Son, your spotless Lamb, that we may have life and forgiveness and reconciliation to you. Father, we thank you for sending your perfect example for us to walk as he walked, according to the commandments. Father, we ask that you give us a refreshing of your Ruach every day to guide us, to lead us away from sin, and lead us into your true ways. Father, we just want to bring forth the fruits that you desire. And we ask you to help us to walk in the way, to neither go to the left hand or to the right, but to stay in the straight and narrow path. Father, we want to be found worthy when Messiah Yahushua returns. We ask that your face shine upon this congregation and any of those who be listening across the four corners of the earth. Father, we bless you in Yahushua's mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
יברכך יחוה וישמרך Okay. Turn your swords to the book of Shemot, also called the book of Exodus. Chapter 1. Now these are the names of the children of Yasharel, which came into Mitzrayim. Every man in his household came with Yaakov. Ruben, Shimon, Levi, and Yehudah, Yissachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Yaakov were 70 souls. For Yosef was in Mitzrayim already, and Yosef died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Yasharel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty. And the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Mitzrayim, which knew not Yosef. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Yasharel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falls on any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so, get them up out of the land. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Yasharel. And the Mitzrayim made the children of Yasharel serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them to serve was with rigor. And the king of Mitzrayim spoke to the Ivri wives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Ivri women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared Elohim, and did not as the king of Mitzrayim commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Mitzrayim called for the midwives, and said unto them, why have you done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Ivrit women are not as the Mitzrayim women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come into them. Therefore Elohim dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared Elohim, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. Chapter 2. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to be his woman a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the reeds by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off, to wit, what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, this is one of the Ivrim children. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call to you a nurse of the Ivrit women, that she may nurse a child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give you your wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moshe. And she said, because I drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days, when Moshe was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens, and he spied a Mitzri smiting an Ivri, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Mitzri, and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Ivrim strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smite you your fellow? And he said, who made you a prince and judge over us? Intend you to kill me as you killed the Mitzri? And Moshe feared and said, surely this thing is known. Now, when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moshe. But Moshe fled from the face of Pharaoh, and he dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now, the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to the father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moshe stood up and helped them, and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that you are come so soon today? And they said, a Mitzri delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. He said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it you have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread. And Moshe was content to dwell with the man. Zipporah, his daughter. And she bore him a son, and he called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass, in the process of time, that the king of Mitzrayim died, and the children of Yasharel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, And their cry came up to Elohim by the reason of the bondage. And Elohim heard their groaning. And Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Yitzhak, and with Yaakov. And Elohim looked upon the children of Yashrael, and Elohim had respect unto them.
I love how his rain starts, right? When you start reading. Chapter 3. Now Moshe kept the flock of Yithro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of Elohim, even to Horeb. And the angel of Yahuwah appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a thorn bush, and he looked, and behold, the thorn bush was burned with fire, and the thorn bush was not consumed. And Moshe said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the thorn bush is not burned. And when Yahuwah saw that, he turned aside to see. Elohim called out unto him out of the midst of the thorn bush, and said, Moshe, Moshe. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off your shoes from your feet, for the place whereon you stand is set apart ground. Moreover, he said, I am the Elohai of your father, the Elohai of Abraham, and the Elohai of Yitzhak, and the Elohai of Yaakov. And Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon Elohim. And Yahuwah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Mitzrayim, and I have heard their cry by the reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I am come down to deliver them out of the land of the Mitzrayim, at the hand of the Mitzrayim, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land, and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Kenaim, and the Hittim, and the Amorim, and the Perizim, and the Hivim, and the Yebusim. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Yasharel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Mitzrayim oppressed them. Come now therefore, and I will send you unto Pharaoh, that you may bring forth my people from the children of Yasharel out of Mitzrayim. And Moshe said unto Elohim, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Yasharel out of Mitzrayim? And he said, Certainly I will be with you, and this shall be a sign unto you that I have sent you. Where you have brought forth the people out of Mitzrayim, ye shall serve Elohim upon this mountain. And when Moshe said unto Elohim, Behold, when I come unto the children of Yasharel, and say unto them, The Elohai of your father has sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto him? And Elohim said unto El Moshe, Ehiah Asher Ehiah. And he said, Thus shall you say unto the children of Yasharel, Ehiah has sent me unto you. And Elohim said moreover unto El Moshe, Thus shall you say unto the children of Yasharel, Yahuwah Elohai of your fathers, the Elohai of Abraham, the Elohai of Yitzhak, and the Elohai of Yaakov, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever. This is my mention unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Yasharel together, and say unto them, Yahuwah Elohai of your fathers, and Elohai of Abraham, of Yitzhak, and of Yaakov, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which was done to you in Mitzrayim. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Mitzrayim, unto the land of the Kenaim, and the Hittim, and the Amorim, and the Perizim, and the Hivim, and the Yebusim, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall hearken to your voice, and you shall come, you and the elders of Yasharel, unto the king of Mitzrayim, and you shall say unto him, Yahuwah Elohai of the Ivrim has met with us, and now let us go. We beseech you 3 days into the wilderness, 3 days journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to Yahuwah Elohim. And I am sure that the king of Mitzrayim will not let you go, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Mitzrayim with all the wonders which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Mitzrayim. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty. That every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and of her that sojourns in her house, jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment. And ye shall put them upon your sons, and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Mitzrayim. Chapter 4. And Moshe answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, Yahuwah has not appeared unto you. And Yahuwah said unto them, What is it that is in your hands? And he said, A rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent, and Moshe fled from before it. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, put forth your hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that Yahuwah Elohai of their fathers, the Elohai of Abraham, the Elohai of Yitzhak, the Elohai of Jacob has appeared unto you. And Yahweh said furthermore unto him, now put your hand into your bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, put your hand into your bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it shall come to pass that if they will not believe you, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto your voice, that you shall take the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land. And the water which you take out of the river shall become blood upon the dry lands. And Moshe said unto El Yahuwah, O Adonai, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since you have spoken unto your servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. And Yahweh said unto him, who has made man's mouth? Or who makes the dumb or deaf, or the seeing or the blind? Have not I Yahweh? Now therefore go, and I will be with you, your mouth, and teach you what you shall say. And he said, O Adonai, send, I pray you, by the hand of him whom you will send. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Moshe. And he said, is not Aharon the Levi your brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he comes forth to meet you. And when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. And you shall speak unto him, and put the words in his mouth. And I will be with your mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. And he shall be your spokesman unto the people. And he shall be, even he shall be to you instead of a mouth. And you shall be to him instead of an Elohim. And you shall take this rod in your hand, wherewith you shall do signs. And Moshe went and returned to Yithro his father-in-law, and said unto him, let me go, I pray you, and return unto my brethren which are in Mitzrayim, and see whether they be yet alive. And Yithro said to Moshe, go in peace. And Yahweh said unto Moshe and Gideon, go, return into Mitzrayim, for all the men are dead which sought your life. And Moshe took his woman and his sons, and set them upon an ass. And he returned to the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe took the rod of Elohim in his hand. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, when you go return into Mitzrayim, see that you do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, thus says Yahweh, Yasharel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto you, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. And it came to pass by the way in the inn, that Yahweh met him, and sought to kill him. Then Sipporah took a sharp stone, and cut off the foreskin of her son, and cast it at his feet, and said, surely a bloody man are you to me. So he let him go. And then she said, a bloody man you are, because of the circumcision. And Yahweh said unto El Aharon, go into the wilderness to meet Moshe. And he went, and met him in the mount of Elohim, and kissed him. And Moshe told Aharon all the words of Yahweh who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moshe and Aharon went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Yasharel. And Aaron spoke all the words which Yahweh had spoken unto Moshe, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed. And when they heard that Yahweh had visited the children of Yasharel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped.
And afterward Moshe and Aharon went in and told Pharaoh, thus says Yahweh Elohai of Israel, let my people go, and they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is Yahweh, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not Yahweh, neither will I let Israel go. And they said, the Elohai of Ephraim has met with us. Let us go, we pray you, 3 days journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto Yahweh Eloheinu. lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with sword. And let the king of Mizraim said unto them, Wherefore do you, Moshe and Aharon, let the people from their works get you unto your burdens? And Pharaoh said, Behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens. And Pharaoh commanded them the same day, the taskmasters of the people, and their officers, saying, Ye shall no more give the people straw to make bricks, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. And the tally of the bricks which they did make heretofore, ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, Let us go and sacrifice to our Elohim. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spoke to the people, saying, Thus says Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye, get you straw where you can find it. Yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Mitzrayim to gather stubble instead of straw. The taskmasters hasted them, saying, Fulfill your works, your daily task, and when there was straw. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had sent over them, were beaten and demanded, Wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making bricks, both yesterday and today as heretofore? Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore deal ye this with your servants? There is no straw given unto your servants. And they say to us, Make bricks, and behold, your servants are beaten. But the fault is not in your own people. The fault is in your own people. But he said, Ye are idle, ye are idle. Therefore ye say, Let us go, do sacrifice to Yahuwah. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you. Yet shall ye deliver the tally of bricks. And the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were in evil case. After it was said, Ye shall do not diminish aught from your bricks for your daily task. And they met Moshe and Aharon, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, Yahuwah, look upon you and judge, because ye have made our Savior to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh, and the eyes of his servants, to put swords in their hands to slay us. And Moshe returned unto El Yahuwah and said, Adonai, wherefore have ye so evil entreated this people? Why is it that you have sent me? For since I came, Pharaoh, to speak in your name, he has done evil to this people. Neither have you delivered your people at all. Then Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Now shall you see what I will do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand shall let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. And Elohim spoke unto Moshe and said unto him, I am Yahuwah, and I appeared unto you, El Abraham, unto El Yitzhak, and unto El Yaakov, by El Shaddai, but by my name Yahuwah was I not known to them. And I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Yisrael, whom the Mitzrayim keep in bondage. And I have remembered my covenant. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahuwah, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim, and I will rid you of your bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm, and with great judgments, and I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you Elohim, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah Elohim, which brings you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim. And I will bring you into the land concerning that of which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Yitzhak and Yaakov, and I will give it to you for a heritage. I am Yahuwah. And Moshe spoke unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moshe, for anguish of the Ruach, and for cruel bondage. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Go in, speak to Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, that he let the children of Israel go out of his land. And Moshe spoke before Yahuwah, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me? Who am I of uncircumcised lips? And Yahweh spoke unto El Moshe and unto Aharon, and gave them a charge unto the children of Yisrael and unto Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, to bring the children of Yisrael out of the lands of Mitzrayim. These be the heads of their fathers' houses. The sons of Ruben, the firstborn of Israel, Hanok, Palu, Shesron, Carme. These are the families of Ruben. And of the sons of Shimon, Yamael, Yamain, Ohad, Yakain, Sokar, Shaul, son of Kenania, woman. These are the families of Shimon. And these are the names of the sons of Levi according to their generations. Gershon, Kohath, Merari. The years of the life of Levi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libnei and Shimei, according to their families. And the sons of Kohath, Amram and Yitzhar, the Chevron and Uzziel. And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years. And the sons of Merari and Mikli, Meshai, these are the families of Levi, according to their generations. And Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to be his woman, and she bore him Aaron and Moshe. And the years of his life of Amram were 137 years. And the sons of Yishar, Korah, and Neteg, and Zikri, the sons of Uzziel, Mishael, Elistaphan, and Hithri. And Aaron took him Elisheva, daughter of Aminadab, sister of Nehushon, to be his woman, and she bore him Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Lithamar, the sons of Korah, Asir and Elkanah, Abiasapha, These are the families of Korah. Unto Eleazar, Aharon's son, took him one of the daughters of Pitziel to be his woman, and she bore him Pinechet. These are the heads of the fathers of the Leviim, according to their families. These are the Aharon and Moshe, to whom Yahweh said, bring out the children of Israel from the land of Mitzrayim, according to their families. These are they which spoke to Pharaoh king and Mitzrayim to bring the children of Israel from Mitzrayim. These are that Moshe and Aharon. And it came to pass on the day when Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the land of Mitzrayim, that Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, I am Yahweh. Speak you unto Pharaoh king of Mitzrayim all that I say unto you. And Moshe said before Yahweh, behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, but how shall Pharaoh hearken to me?
Chapter 8. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus says Yahweh, let my people go, that they may serve me. And if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all your borders with frogs, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into your house, and into your bedchamber, and upon your bed, and into the house of your servants, and upon your people, and into your ovens, and into your kneading troughs. And the frogs shall come upon you both, and upon your people, and upon your servants. And Yahweh spoke unto El Moshe, say unto El Haron, stretch forth your hand with your rod. 7? Sorry. Alright, chapter 7. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, see, I have made you an Elohim to Pharaoh, and Aharon your brother shall be your prophet. You shall speak all that I command you, and Aharon your brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he shall send the children of Yasharel out of his land, and I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Mitzrayim. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Mitzrayim, and bring forth my armies, and my people, the children of Yasharel, out of the hand of Mitzrayim, by great judgments. And the Mitzrayim shall know that I am Yahweh, when I stretch forth my hand upon the Mitzrayim, and bring out the children of Yasharel from among them. And Moshe said and did as and Moshe and Aharon did as Yahuwah commanded them. So did they. And Moshe was 80 years old, and Aharon 83 years old, when they spoke unto Pharaoh. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and unto El Haron, saying, Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, Show a miracle for you. Then you shall say unto El Haron, Take your rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a dragon. And Moshe and Aharon went unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahuwah had commanded. And Aharon cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and before his servants, and it became a dragon. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men, the sorcerers, and the magicians of Mitzrayim, and also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became dragons. But Aharon's rod swallowed up their rods. And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuses to let the people go. Get you unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goes out unto the water, and you shall stand by the river's brink against he come. And the rod which was turned into a serpent shall you take in your hand. And you shall say unto him, Yahuwah Elohai of the Ivrim has sent me unto you, saying, Let my people go, that you may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto you would not hear. Thus says Yahuwah, In this you shall know that I am Yahuwah. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish that are in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Mitzrayim shall loathe to drink the water of the river. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, Say unto Aharon, Take your rod, and stretch out your hand upon the waters of Mitzrayim, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. And Moshe and Aharon did so, as Yahuwah commanded. And he lifted up the rod, and smote the waters that were in the river, and in the sight of Pharaoh, and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank, and the Mitzrayim could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. All the magicians of Mitzrayim did so with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them as Yahuwah had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into the house, neither did he set his heart also to this also. And also the Mitzrayim dug round about the river to drink water, and they could not drink the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled after that Yahuwah had smitten the river. And yet, chapter 8. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus says Yahuwah, Let my people go, that they may serve me. And if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all your borders with frogs. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into your house, and into your bedchamber, and upon your bed, and into the house of your servants, and upon your people, and into your ovens, and into your kneading troughs. And the frogs shall come up both upon you, and upon your people, and upon all your servants. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, Say unto Aharon, Stretch forth your hand with your rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause the frogs to come up upon the land of Mitzrayim. And Aharon stretched out his hand over the waters of Mitzrayim, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did so with their enchantments, and brought up the frogs upon the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh called for Moshe and Aharon, and said, Entreat El Yahuwah, that he may take away the frogs from me, and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifice unto El Yahuwah. And Moshe said unto Pharaoh, Glory over me, when shall I entreat for you, and for your servants, and for your people, to destroy the frogs from you and from your houses, that they may remain in the river only? And he said, Tomorrow. And he said, Be it according to your word, that you may know that there is none like unto Yahuwah Eloheinu. And the frogs shall depart from you, and from your houses, and from your servants, and from your people, and they shall remain in the river only. And Moshe and Aharon went from Pharaoh, and Moshe cried unto El Yahuwah because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And Yahuwah did according to the word of Moshe, and the frogs died out of the houses and the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. But when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, and he hardened hearkened not unto them as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto El Moshe and unto El Aaron, Stretch out your rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And they did so. For Aharon stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. And the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth the lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, This is the finger of Elohim. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he comes forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus says Yahuwah, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if you will not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon you, and upon your servants, and upon your people, and into your houses. And the houses of the Mitzrayim shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end that you may know that I am Yahuwah in the midst of the earth. And I will put a division between my people and your people. Tomorrow shall this sign be, and Yahuwah did so. And there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Mitzrayim. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies. And Pharaoh called for Moshe and Aharon and said, Go, ye, sacrifice to your Elohim in the land. And Moshe said, It is not meet to do so, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Mitzrayim to Yahuwah Eloheinu. Lo, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Mitzrayim before their eyes? And will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to Yahuwah Eloheinu. And he shall command us. And Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that you may sacrifice to Yahuwah Eloheka in the wilderness. Only ye shall go not very far away, entreat me. And Moshe said, Behold, I go out from you, and I will entreat El Yahuwah, that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully any more, in not letting the people go and to sacrifice to Yahuwah. And Moshe went out from Pharaoh, and entreated Yahuwah. And Yahuwah did according to the word of Moshe, and he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, and from his servants, and from his people. There remained not one. And Moshe hardened the heart, and Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time, neither would he let the people go.
Chapter 9. Then Yahuwah said unto El Moshe, Go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus says Yahuwah Elohai the Ivrim, Let my people go that they may serve me. For if you refuse to let them go, and will hold them still, behold, the land of Yahuwah is upon your cattle, which is in the field, and upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous pestilence, and Yahuwah shall sever between the cattle of Yasharel and the cattle of Mitzrayim, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Yasharel's. And Yahuwah appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow Yahuwah shall do this thing in the land. And Yahuwah did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Mitzrayim died. But of the cattle of the children of Yasharel died not one. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of Yasharel dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And Yahuwah said unto El Moshe, and unto El Aaron, Take to you the handful of ashes of the furnace, and let Moshe sprinkle it toward the heavens in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall come, small dust, in all the land of Mitzrayim, and shall be a boil breaking forth with flames upon man and upon beast throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh. And Moshe sprinkled it up toward the heavens. And it became a boil breaking forth with flames upon man and upon beasts. And the magicians could not stand before Moshe because of the boils. For the boil was upon the magicians, and upon all the Mitzrayim. And Yahweh hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yahweh had spoken unto Moshe. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus says Yahuwah Elohai of the Ivrim, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon your heart, and upon your servants, and upon your people, that you may know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, and I may smite you, your people, with pestilence, and you shall be cut off from the earth. And in very deed for this cause I have raised you up, for to show in you my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exalt you yourself against my people, that you will not let them go. Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain, a grievous hail, such as has not been seen in Mitzrayim since the foundation thereof, even until now. Send therefore now, and gather your cattle, and all that you have that is in the fields, for upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die. He that feared the word of Yahuwah among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses. And he that regarded not the word of Yahuwah left his servants and his cattle in the field. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Stretch forth your hand towards the heavens, so that there may be hail in the land of Mitzrayim, and upon the field, and upon the beasts, and upon every herb of the field, throughout the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe stretched forth his rod towards the heavens. And Yahweh sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran up along upon the ground. And Yahweh rained hail upon the land of Mitzrayim, so that there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Mitzrayim, since it became a nation. And the hail smote throughout the land of Mitzrayim, and all that was in the field, both man and beast. And the hail smote every herb of the field, and broke every tree of the field. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Yashar were, there was no hail. And Pharaoh sent and called for Moshe and Aharon, and said unto them, I have sinned this time. Yahweh is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Entreat El Yahuwah, for it is enough that there may be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. Moshe said unto him, As soon as I have gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto El Yahuwah, and the thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail, that you may know how that the earth is Yahuwah's. But as for you and your servants, I know that ye will not fear Yahuwah Elohim. And the flax and the barley was smitten. For the barley was in the ear, and the flax was old. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not yet grown up. And Moshe went out of the city from Pharaoh, and spread abroad his hands unto El Yahuwah. And the thunders and the hail ceased, and the rain was not poured out upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more, and hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, neither would he let the children of Yashar go, as Yahweh had spoken by Moshe. Chapter 10. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart, and the heart of his servants, that I might show these signs before him, and that you may tell in the ears of your sons, and of your sons' sons, at what things I have wrought in Mitzrayim, and my signs which I have done among them, that ye may know how that I am Yahuwah. And Moshe and Aharon came in unto Pharaoh, and said unto him, Thus says the Yahuwah Elohai of the Ivrim, How long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go that they may serve me. Else, if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring locusts into your coasts, and they shall cover the face of the earth, that not one can be not able to see the earth. They shall eat the remnant of that which escaped, which remains unto you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which grows for you out of the field. They shall fill your houses and the houses of your servants and the houses of all of Mitzrayim, which neither your fathers nor your fathers' fathers have seen since the day that they were upon the earth unto this day. And he turned himself and went out from Pharaoh. And Pharaoh's servants said unto him, How long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve Yahuwah El-Hayim. Know you not yet that Mitzrayim is destroyed? And Moshe and Aharon were brought again unto Pharaoh, and he said unto them, Go serve Yahuwah El-Hayim. But who are they that shall go? And Moses said, We will go with our young, and with our old, and with our sons, and with our daughters, with our flocks, and with our herds. We will go, for we must hold a feast unto Yahuwah. And he said unto them, Let Yahuwah be so with you, as I will let you go, and your little ones go. Look to it, for evil is before you. Not so. Go now ye that are men, and serve Yahuwah. For that ye did desire. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. And Pharaoh said unto Moshe, Stretch out your hand over the land of Mitzrayim, for the locusts, that they may come upon the land of Mitzrayim, and eat every herb of the field, and even all the hail that is left. So Moshe stretched forth his rod over the land of Mitzrayim, and Yahuwah brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up over the land of Mitzrayim and rested in all the coasts of Mitzrayim. Very grievous were they. Before them there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. And there remained not any green thing in the trees, or in the herbs of the fields, throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Then Pharaoh called Moshe and Aaron in haste, and he said to them, I have sinned against Yahuwah El-Hayim and against you. Now, therefore, forgive, I pray you, my sin only this once, and entreat Yahuwah El-Hayim that he may take away from me this death only. And when he went out from Pharaoh and entreated Yahuwah, and Yahuwah turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them into the Red Sea. There remained not one locust in all the coasts of Mitzrayim. But Yahuwah hardened the heart of Pharaoh, so that he would not let the children of Israel go. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Stretch out your hand towards the heavens, that there may be darkness over the land of Mitzrayim, even darkness which may be felt. And Moshe stretched forth his hands toward the heavens, and there was thick darkness in the land of Mitzrayim for 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Yasharel had light in their dwellings. And Pharaoh called unto Moshe and said, Go ye, serve Yahuwah. Only let your flocks and your herds be stayed. Let your little ones also go with you. And Moshe said, You must also give us sacrifices and ascending smoke offerings, that we may sacrifice unto Yahuwah Elohim. Our cattle also shall go with us. There shall not be a hoof be left behind. For thereof must we take to serve Yahuwah Elohim. And we know not with what we must serve Yahuwah until we come thither. But Yahuwah hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. And Pharaoh said, Get you from me. Take heed to yourself and see my face no more. For the day you see my face, you shall die. And Moshe said, You have spoken well. I will see your face again no more.
Chapter 11. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe,
Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Mitzrayim. Afterwards he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. And Yahuwah gave the people favor in the sight of Mitzrayim. Moreover, the man Moshe was very great in the land of Mitzrayim, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of the people. And Moshe said, Thus says Yahuwah, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Mitzrayim, and all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sits upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and of all the firstborn of the beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it any more. But against any of the children of Yasharel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that Yahuwah puts a difference between the Mitzrayim and Yasharel. And all these your servants shall come down unto me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get you out, and all the people that follow you. And after that I will go out. And he went from Pharaoh in a great anger. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe and Aharon did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and Yahuwah hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Yasharel go out of his land. Chapter 12. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and El Aharon in the land of Mitzrayim, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the assembly of Yasharel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it, according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish. A male of the first year ye shall take it out from the sheep, or from the goats. And ye shall keep it unto the 14th day of the same month. And the whole multitude of the assembly of Yasharel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on 2 side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and matzah. Their herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor at all with water, but roast with fire. His head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remains of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahuwah's Pesach. For I will pass through the land of Mitzrayim this night, and will be firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both man and beast. And against all the Elohai of Mitzrayim I will execute judgment. I am Yahuwah. And the blood shall be to you for a mark upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you. When I smite the land of Mitzrayim, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial. And ye shall keep it a feast to Yahuwah throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days ye shall eat matzah. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eats hametz from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Yasharel. And in the first day there shall be a Kodesh assembly. And in the 7th day there shall be a Kodesh assembly to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall guard the feast of matzah. The selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore shall ye guard this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat matzah until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no hametz found in your houses. For whosoever eats that which is with hametz, even that soul shall be cut off from the assembly of Yasharel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Ye shall eat nothing with hametz, in all your habitations shall ye eat matzah. Then Moshe called for all the elders of Yasharel and said unto them, Draw out, and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Pesach. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop, and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. For Yahuwah will pass through to smite the Mitzrayim. And when he sees the blood upon the lintel and on the 2 side posts, Yahuwah will pass over the door, and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you. And ye shall guard this thing for an ordinance to you, and your sons forever. And it shall come to pass when ye are come to the land which Yahuwah will give you, according as he has promised, this service. And it shall come to pass when your children shall say unto you, What mean ye by this service? And ye shall say, It is the sacrifice of Yahuwah's Pesach, who passed over the houses of the children of Yasharel in Mitzrayim, when he smote the Mitzrayim, and delivered our houses, and the people bowed the head and worshipped. And the children of Yasharel went away and did as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe, and Aharon, so did they. And it came to pass that at midnight Yahuwah smote all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne, unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants, and all the Mitzrayim, and there was a great cry in Mitzrayim, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. And he called for Moshe and Aharon by night, and he said, Rise up, get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Yasharel, and go. Serve Yahuwah as ye have said. Also take your flocks and your herds as ye have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Mitzrayim were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, We be all dead men. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Yasharel did according to the word of Moshe. And they borrowed of the Mitzrayim jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment. And Yahuwah gave the people favor in the sight of Mitzrayim, so that they lent unto them such things as they required. And they spoiled the Mitzrayim. And the children of Yasharel journeyed from Ramses to Sukkot, about 600,000 on foot that were men, beside children. And a mixed multitude went up with them also, and flocks and herds, and even very much cattle. And they baked matzah, cakes of the dough which they brought forth out of Mitzrayim, for it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of Mitzrayim and could not tarry, neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. Now the sojourning of the children of Yasharel, who dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, and in the land of Canaan, they and their fathers, was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day it came to pass, that all the hosts of Yahuwah went out from the land of Mitzrayim. It is a night to be much observed unto Yahuwah, for bringing them out of the land of Mitzrayim. This is that night of Yahuwah to be observed, of all the children of Yasharel in their generations. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe and Aharon, This is the ordinance of the Pesach. There shall be no stranger eat thereof, but every man's servant that is bought for money, when you have circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. In what house shall it be eaten? You shall not carry forth aught of the flesh abroad out of the house. neither shall you break a bone thereof. All the assembly of Yasharel shall keep it. And when a stranger shall sojourn with you, and will keep the Pesach to Yahuwah, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. One Torah shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourns among you. Thus did all the children of Yasharel, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe and Aharon, so did they. And it came to pass, the selfsame day, that Yahuwah did bring the children of Yasharel out of the land of Mitzrayim by their armies.
And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn whatsoever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. Moshe said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of my hand of Yahuwah brought you out from the place. There shall no shamets be eaten. This day came ye out of the month of Avai. But it shall be when Yahuwah shall bring you into the land of the Canaanite, and the Shittim, and the Amorim, and the Shavim, and the Yavitim, which ye swore 7 oaths unto your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall keep this service in the month. 7 days you shall eat matzah. And in the 7th day shall it be a feast to Yahuwah. Matzah shall be eaten 7 days. There shall no chametz be seen with you. Neither shall there be leaven seen with you in all your quarters. And you shall show your son in that day, saying, This is done because of that which Yahuwah did unto me when I came forth out of Mitzrayim. And it shall be a sign unto you upon your hand, and for a memorial between your eyes, that Yahuwah's Torah may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand has Yahuwah brought you out of Mitzrayim. You shall therefore guard this ordinance in his appointed time, from year to year. It shall be when Yahuwah shall bring you into the land of the Canaanite, as he swore 7 oaths unto you and to your fathers, and shall give it to you, that you shall set apart unto Yahuwah all that opens the womb, and every firstling that comes of a beast which you have, the males shall be Yahuwah's. And every firstlings of an ass you shall redeem with a lamb, and if you will not redeem it, then you shall break its neck. And all the firstborn of man among your children shall you redeem. And it shall be when your son asks you in time to come, saying, What is this? That you shall say unto him, By the strength of hand of Yahuwah brought us out from Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that Yahuwah slew all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to Yahuwah all that opens the womb, being males. But all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And it shall be for a mark upon your hand, and for frontlets between your eyes. For by strength of hand Yahuwah brought us forth out of Mitzrayim. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that Elohim led them not through the way of the land of the Pelishtim, although that was near. For Elohim said, Lest perchance the people repent when they see war, and they return to Mitzrayim. But Elohim led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Yasharel went up harnessed out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn 7 oaths to the children of Israel, saying, Elohim will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And Yahuwah went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. And he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Chapter 14. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea over against Baal. Zephon, before it shall be encamped by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, They are entangled in the land, the wilderness has shut them up in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, that the Mitzrayim may know that I am Yahuwah. And they did so. And it was told the king of Mitzrayim that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his chariot and took the people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Mitzrayim, and captains over every one of them. And Pharaoh hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, and he pursued after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with a high hand, but the Mitzrayim pursued after them. All the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea, he said, Pi-hahiroth, before Baal Zephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, Mitzrayim marched after them. And they were sore afraid, and the children of Israel cried out unto Yahuwah. And they said unto Moshe, Because there were no graves in Mitzrayim, have you taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore have you dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Mitzrayim? Is not the word that we did tell you in Mitzrayim, saying, Let us alone that we may serve the Mitzrayim? For it had been better for us to serve the Mitzrayim than that we should die in the wilderness. And Moshe said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the Yeshua of Yahuwah, which we will show you today. For the Mitzrayim whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. Yahuwah shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Wherefore cry you unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward. But lift up your rod and stretch your hand over the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Mitzrayim, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the Mitzrayim shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh and his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of Elohim went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face, and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Mitzrayim and the camp of Israel, that it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these. So that the one came not near the other all the night. And Moshe stretched out his hand over the seas, and Yahuwah caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land. and the waters were divided, and the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And the Mitzrayim pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses and his chariots and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, Yahuwah looked unto the hosts of the Mitzrayim through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Mitzrayim, and took off their chariot wheels, and they drove them heavily, so that the Mitzrayim said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for Yahuwah fights for them against the Mitzrayim. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Mitzrayim, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moshe stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength. When the morning appeared, the Mitzrayim fled against it, and Yahweh overthrew the Mitzrayim in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus Yahuwah saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Mitzrayim. And Israel saw the Mitzrayim dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw the great work which Yahuwah did upon the Mitzrayim. And the people feared Yahuwah and believed Yahuwah and his servant Moshe.
Chapter 15. Then sang Moshe and the children of Yasharel this song unto Yahuwah, and spoke, saying, I will sing unto Yahuwah, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he has thrown into the sea. God is my strength and song, and he has become my Yeshua. He is my El, and I prepared him a habitation, my father's Elohai, and I will exalt him. Yahweh is a man of war, Yahuwah is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host he has cast into the sea, and his chosen captains also drowned in the sea over the Red Sea. The depths covered them, they sank into the bottom as a stone. Your right hand, O Yahuwah, is become glorious in power. Your right hand, O Yahuwah, has dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of your excellency, you have overthrown them that rose up against you. You sent forth your wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of your nostrils, the waters were gathered together, and the flood stood upright as a heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I'll overtake, I'll divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You blew with your ruach, the sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto you, O Yahuwah, among the Elohim? Who is like you, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? You stretched out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. You in your mercy have led forth the people which you have redeemed. You have guided them in your strength into your holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid, Sorrow shall take hold of the inhabitants of Pelisheth. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed, the mighty men of Moab. Trembling shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall on them by the greatness of your arm. They shall be as still as a stone. Till your people pass over, O Yahuwah. Till the people pass over which you have purchased. You shall bring them in and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, in the place, O Yahuwah, which you have made for you to dwell in the sanctuary, O Yahuwah, which your hands have established. Yahuwah shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with the chariots and with his horsemen into the sea. And Yahuwah brought again the waters of the sea upon me. And by the children of Yasharel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aharon, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with the timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them and said, Sing ye to Yahuwah, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he has thrown into the sea. So Moshe brought Yasharel from the Red Sea, and they went out to the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of that place was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moshe, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto El Yahuwah, and Yahuwah showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If you will diligently hearken to the voice of Yahuwah Elohim, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and guard all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon you, which I have brought upon the Mitzrayim, for I am Yahuwah Rebekah. And they went to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. Chapter 16. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the assembly of the children of Yasharel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai. On the 15th day of the second month, after departing out of the land of Mitzrayim. And the whole assembly of the children of Yasharel murmured against Moshe and Aharon in the wilderness. And the children of Yasharel said unto them, Would to Elohim, we have died by the hand of Yahuwah in the land of Mitzrayim, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For you have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Then said Yahuwah unto Moshe, Behold, I will rain bread from the heavens for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my Torah or no. And it shall come to pass that on the sixth day they shall prepare which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moshe and Aharon said unto the children of Yasharel at evening, Then you shall know that Yahuwah has brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. And in the morning, then you shall see the glory of Yahuwah, for that he hears your murmurings against Yahuwah. And what are we that you murmur against us? And Moshe said, This shall be when Yahuwah shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, for that Yahuwah hears your murmurings, which you have murmured against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Yahuwah. And Moshe spoke unto Aharon, say unto all the assembly of the children of Yasharel, come near before Yahuwah, for he has heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aharon spoke unto the whole assembly of the children of Yasharel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yahuwah appeared in the cloud. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Yasharel. Speak unto them, saying, at even you shall eat flesh, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah Elohim. And it came to pass that as evening the quails came up and covered the tent, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Yasharel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna, for they knew not what it was. And Moshe said unto them, this is the bread which Yahuwah has given you to eat. This is the thing which Yahuwah has commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man, according to the number of the persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Yasharel did so, and gathered some more and some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moshe said, let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moshe, but some of them left of it until the morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moshe was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the sixth day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the assembly came and told Moshe. And he said unto them, this is that which Yahuwah has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the set apart, Kodesh, holy Shabbat, unto Yahuwah. Bake that which you will bake today, and see that which you will see, and that which remains over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, and as Moshe bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moshe said, eat that today, for tomorrow is a Shabbat unto Yahuwah. Today you shall not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Shabbat, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, how long refuse you to guard my commandments and my Torah? See, for that Yahuwah has given you the Shabbat. Therefore he gives you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. And the house of Yasharel called the name of thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. And Moshe said, this is the thing which Yahuwah commands. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe said unto Aharon, take a pot and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before Yahuwah to be kept for your generations. As Yahuwah commanded Moshe, so Aharon laid it up by the testimony to be kept. And the children of Yasharel did eat manna 40 years, until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Omer is the 10th part of an ephah.
Chapter 17. And all the assembly of the children of Yasharel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of Yahuwah, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moshe and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moshe said unto them, why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt Yahuwah? And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moshe, and said, wherefore is it that you have brought us up out of Mizraim to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst. And Moshe cried unto Yahuwah, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Go on before the people, and take with you of the elders of Yasharel and your rod, wherewith you smote the river, take in your hand and go. Behold, I will stand before you there upon the rock in Horeb, and you shall smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moshe did so in the sight of the elders of Yasharel. And he called the name of the place Macha and Meribah, because the chiding of the children of Yasharel, and because they tempted Yahweh, saying, Is Yahweh among us or not? Then came Amalek, and fought with Yasharel and Rephidim. And Moshe said unto Yahusha, Choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of Elohim in my hand. So Yahusha did as Moshe had said to him, and fought with Amalek, and Moshe, Aharon, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moshe held up his hand, that Yasharel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moshe's hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aharon and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Yahusha discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Write this for a memorial in a sefer, and rehearse it in the ears of Yahusha, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heavens. And Moshe built an altar, and called the name of it Yahweh Nissi, for he said, Because Yah has sworn that Yahuwah will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Chapter 18. When Yithro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's father-in-law, heard of it all that Elohim had done for Moshe and for Yasharel, his people, and that Yahweh had brought Yasharel out of Mizraim, then Yithro, Moshe's father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moshe's woman, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eleazar, for the Elohai of my father, said he, was my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Yithro, Moshe's father-in-law, came with his sons and his woman unto Moshe into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of Elohim. And he said unto Moshe, I, your father-in-law Yithro, am come unto you, and your woman, and her 2 sons with her. And Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him. And they asked each other of their welfare. And they came into the tent. And Moshe told his father-in-law and all that Yahweh had done unto Pharaoh, and to the Mitzrayim for Yasharel's sake, and at all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how Yahweh delivered them. And Yithro rejoiced for all the goodness which Yahweh had done to Yasharel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Mitzrayim. And Yithro said, Blessed be Yahweh, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Mitzrayim, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Mitzrayim. Now I know that Yahweh is greater than all Elohim, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. And Yithro, Moshe's father-in-law, took an ascending smoke offering and sacrifices for Elohim, and Aharon came, and all the elders of Yasharel, to eat bread with Moshe's father-in-law before Elohim. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moshe from the morning unto the evening. And when Moshe's father-in-law saw it all that he did to the people, he said, What is this thing that you do to the people? Why sit you yourself alone, and all the people stand by you from morning unto evening? And Moshe said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of Elohim. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of Elohim and his Torah. And Moshe's father-in-law said unto him, The thing that you do is not good. You will surely wear away both you and this people that is with you, for this thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it yourself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give you counsel, and Elohim shall be with you. Be for the people to Elohim word, that you may bring the causes unto Elohim. And you shall teach them ordinances and Torah, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, you shall provide out of all the people able men, such as fear Elohim, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And let them judge the people at all seasons, and it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto you, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for yourself, and they shall bear the burden with you. If you shall do this thing, and Elohim command you do so, then you shall be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So Moshe hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he said. And Moshe chose able men out of all Yasharel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moshe, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moshe let his father-in-law depart, and he went on his way into his own land.
Chapter 19. In the 3rd month, when the children of Yasharel were gone forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, the same day they came into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness. And there Yasharel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahuwah called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Yasharel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Mitzrayim, and how I bore you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and guard my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which ye shall speak unto the children of Yasharel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahuwah commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that Yahuwah has spoken we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Lo, I come unto you in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you, and believe you forever. And Moshe told the words of the people unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the 3rd day. For the 3rd day Yahuwah will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And ye shall set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up unto the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot through, whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the shofar sounds long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moshe went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the 3rd day, come not at your woman. And it came to pass on the 3rd day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the shofar exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on the smoke, because Yahuwah descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the shofar sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moshe spoke, and Elohim answered him by a voice. And Yahuwah came down upon Mount Sinai, on top of the mount, and Yahuwah called Moshe up to the top of the mount, and Moshe went up. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto Yahuwah to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also, which come near to Yahuwah, sanctify themselves, lest Yahuwah break forth upon them. And Moshe said unto Yahuwah, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for you charged us, saying, set bounds upon the mount and sanctify it. And Yahuwah said unto him, away, get you down, and you shall come up, you and Aharon with you. But let not the priest and the people break through to come up unto Yahuwah, lest he break forth upon them. So Moshe went down unto the people and spoke unto them. Chapter 20. And Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah Elohika, which have brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other Elohim before me. You shall not make unto you any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down yourself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah Elohika, am a jealous El, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and guard my commandments. You shall not take the name of Yahuwah Elohika in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Remember the day of the Shabbat, to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah Elohika. In it you shall not do any work, nor you, nor your son, nor your daughter, your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahuwah blessed the day of Shabbat and hallowed it. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which Yahuwah Elohika gives you. You shall not kill. You shall not break wedlock. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not lust after your neighbor's house. You shall not lust after your neighbor's woman, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings, and the noise of the shofar, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they were moved and stood afar off. And they said unto Moshe, speak with us, and we will hear, but let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And Moshe said unto the people, fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, thus you shall say unto the children of Yasharel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me Elohai of silver, neither shall ye make you unto you Elohai of gold. An altar of earth you shall make unto me, and shall sacrifice thereon your ascending smoke offerings, and your peace offerings, your sheep and your oxen. In all places where I record my name I will come unto you, and I will bless you. And if you will make an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone, for if you lift up your tool upon it, you have polluted it. Neither shall you go up by steps into my altar, that your nakedness be not discovered thereon.
Chapter 21. Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you obtain and every servant 6 years he shall serve, and in the seventh he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his woman shall go out with him. If his Adonai had given him a woman, and she had borne him sons or daughters, the woman and her children shall be her Adonais, and he shall go out by himself. And if a servant shall plainly say, I love my Adonai, my woman, and my children, I will not go out free, then his Adonai shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost. And his Adonai shall pierce his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man surrenders his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her Adonai, who has betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To surrender her unto a strange nation he shall have no power, seeing he has dealt equally with her. And if he had betrothed her unto his son,
he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another woman, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. He that smites a man so that he dies shall be surely put to death. And if a man lie not in wait, but Elohim deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint you a place whither he shall flee. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, you shall take him from my altar that he may die. And he that smites his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. And he that steals a man and sells him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And he that curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. If men strive together, and one smite another with a stone or with his fist, and he die not, but keeps his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be innocent. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. If a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. If men strive, and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished, according as the woman's man will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. And if he smite out his manservant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake. If an ox gore a man or a woman that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be innocent. But if the ox were washed with his horn in time past, and it has been testified to his owner, and he has not kept him, but that he has killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him. Whether he had gored a son or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto their Adonai 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. The ox of one man hurts the ox of another, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. Or if it be known that the ox has used to push in time past, and his owner has not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him. For he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, or of the best of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. If fire break out and catch thorns, so that the stacks of grain, or the standing grain, or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to guard, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of transgression, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challenges to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges. And whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to guard, and it die or be hurt or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of Yahuwah be between them both, that he has not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or died, the owner thereof, being not with it, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good. If it be a hired thing, it came for his hire. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his woman. If her father utterly refuses to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. You shall not suffer a witch to live. Whosoever lies with the beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrifices unto any Elohim, save unto Yahuwah only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You shall neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for you are strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath shall not wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your women shall be widows, and your children fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people that is poor by you, you shall not be to him as a usurer, neither shall you lay upon him usury. If you at all take your neighbor's raiment to pledge, you shall deliver it unto him by that the sun goes down. For that is his covering only, it is his raiment for his skin, wherein shall he sleep. And it shall come to pass, when he cries unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. You shall not revile the Elohim, nor curse the ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe fruits, and of your liquors, the firstborn of your sons, shall you give unto me. Likewise shall you do with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day you shall give it unto me. And you shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall you eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. You shall cast it to the dogs.
Exodus 23. You shall not raise a false report. Put not your hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You shall not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shall you speak in a cause to decline after, meaning to pervert judgment. Neither shall you countenance a poor man in his cause. If you meet your enemy's ox or his ass going astray, you shall surely bring it back to him again. If you see the ass of him that hates you lying under his burden, and would forbear to help him, you shall surely help with him. You shall not pervert the judgment of your poor in his cause. Keep far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay you not, for I will not justify the wicked. And you shall take no gift, for the gift blinds the wise, and perverts the words of the righteous. Also, you shall not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. In the 6th year you shall sow your land, and you shall gather the fruits thereof. But the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie still, that the poor of your people may eat. And what they leave, the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner you shall do your vineyard and with your olive oak. 6 days you shall do work, and on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your ass may rest, and the son of your handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. And in all things that I have said unto you, be guarded, and make no mention of the name of other Elohim, neither let it be heard out of your mouth. 3 times you shall keep a feast unto me in the year. You shall guard the feast of Matzah. You shall eat matzah 7 days, as I commanded you, in the time appointed of the month of Eve. For in it you came out from Mitzrayim, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of Chatzer, the first fruit of your labor, which you have sown in the field, and the feast of Asif, which is in the end of the year, when you have gathered in your labors out of the field. 3 times in the year all your males shall appear before Adonai Yahuwah. No chametz shall be upon my offering of blood, and no fat of my feast shall remain till morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring into the house of Yahuwah Elohaka. And you shall not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if you shall indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto your enemies, and an adversary unto your adversaries. For my angel shall go before you, and bring you in unto the Imarim, and the Hittim, and the Perizim, and the Chananim, and the Shivim, and the Yuvachim, and I will cut them off. You shall not bow down to their Elohim, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but you shall utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images. And ye shall serve Yahuwah Elohim, and he shall bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you. There shall nothing cast their young, nor bear barren in your land. The number of your days I will fulfill. I will send my fear before you, and I will destroy all the people to whom you shall come. And I will make all your enemies turn their backs unto you. And I will send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before you. I will not drive them out before you in 1 year, lest the land becomes desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against you. By little and little I will drive them out from before you, until you be increased and inherit the land. And I will set your bounds from the Red Sea even unto the sea of the Philistine, and from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall cut no covenant with them, nor with their Elohim. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. If you serve their Elohim, it will surely be a snare unto you. And he said unto Moshe, Come up unto El Yahuwah, you and Aharon, Nadab and Abihu, and serve 70 of the elders of Yasharel, and worship ye afar off. And Moshe alone shall come near El Yahuwah, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moshe came and told the people all the words of Yahuwah and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, All the words which Yahuwah has said we will do. And Moshe wrote all the words of Yahuwah, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and the 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Yasharel. And he sent young men of the children of Yasharel, which offered a sinning smoke offering, and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yahuwah. And Moshe took half of the blood, and put it in basins, and half of the blood, and he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the Sefer of the covenant, and read in the audience of the people, and they said, All that Yahweh has said we will do, and be obedient. And Moshe took the blood, and he sprinkled it on and said, Behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has cut with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moshe, Aharon, Nadav, Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Yashrael. And they saw the Elohai of Yashrael, and there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of sapphire stone, and as it were, the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Yashrael he laid not his hand. Also they saw Elohim, and did eat and drink. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Come up to me into the mount, and be there, and I will give you sapphire stone and a Torah, and commandments which I have written, that you may teach them. And Moshe rose up, and his minister Yahusha, and Moshe went up into the mount of Elohim, and he said unto the elders, Tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. And behold, Aharon and Horai are with you. If any man have any matters to do, let him come unto them. And Moshe went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount, and the glory of Yahuwah abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And the seventh day he called unto Moshe out of the midst of the cloud, and the sight of the glory of Yahuwah was like the devouring fire on the top of the mount, in the eyes of the children of Yashrael. And Moshe went into the midst of the cloud, and got him up into the mount. And Moshe was there 40 days and 40 nights.
And Yahuwah spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yashrael, that they bring me an offering. Of every man that gives it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them, gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram skin dyed red, and antelope skin, and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod, and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show you, after the patterns of the tabernacle, and the patterns of all the instructions thereof, even so shall ye make it. And they shall make the ark of shittim wood 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and the cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and the cubit and a half the height thereof. And you shall overlay it with pure gold. Within, without shall you overlay it, and shall make upon it a crown of gold round about. And you shall cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And 2 rings shall be in the one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it. And you shall make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And you shall put the staves into the rings by the side of the ark, and the ark may be bore with them. And the staves shall be in the rings of the ark, and they shall be taken from it. And you shall put the ark, the testimony, which I shall give you. And you shall make a mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and the cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold, of beaten work shall you make them, and in the 2 ends of the mercy seat. And make 1 cherubim on the one end, and 1 cherubim on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall you make the cherubim on 2 ends thereof. And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look one to another towards the mercy seat. Shall they face of the cherubim be. And you shall put the mercy seat above the ark, and the ark shall be put in the testimony that I shall give you. And there I will meet with you, and I will commune with you from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubim which are upon the ark of the testimony. of all things which I give you in the commandments unto the children of Yashriel. You shall also make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits shall it be, the length thereof, and the cubit and the breadth thereof, and the cubit and a half, the height thereof. You shall overlay it with pure gold, and make thereof a crown of gold round about. And you shall make unto the border of the hand breadth round about. You shall make a golden crown to the borders thereof round about. And you shall make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over the place of the border shall the rings be for the places of the staffs to bear the table. And you shall make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be bore with them. And you shall make these dishes thereof, spoons thereof, and cover thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal. Of pure gold shall you make them. And you shall set upon the table showbread before me. And you shall make a menorah of pure gold, of beaten work shall the menorah be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it. 3 branches of the menorah out of one side, and 3 branches of the menorah out of the other side. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, and a knot that the flower in the branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with knot and a flower, so that the 6 branches that come out of the menorah, and the menorah shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, and their knots and their flowers. And there shall be a knot under 2 branches, and the same, the knot under 2 branches is the same, and the knot under 2 branches is the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the menorah. Their knots, their branches shall be the same. All it shall be one bead work of pure gold. And you shall make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light lamps thereof, and they may give light over against it. And the tongs thereof, and the snuff dishes thereof shall be pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it with these vessels. And look that you make them after their patterns, which was shown you in the mount. 26. Moreover, you shall make a tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, with cherubim of cunning work shall you make them. The length of one curtain shall be 8 and 20 cubits, the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. Every one of the curtains shall have one measure. 5 curtains shall be coupled together, one and another. Another 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And you shall make loops of blue upon the edges of the curtains for the snebs in the couple. And otherwise shall you make in the uttermost edges of another curtain, in the couplings of the second. 50 loops shall you make in the one curtain, and 50 loops shall you make in the edge of the curtain. This is the coupling of the second, that the loops may hold one of another. And you shall make 50 tach of gold, couple of the curtains together with the tach, and it shall be one tabernacle. And you shall make curtains of goat hair to be coverings upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shall you make. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. And 11 cubits shall be all one measure. And you shall couple 5 curtains of them, and 6 curtains of them, and shall double the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. You shall make 50 loops on the edge of one curtain that is outermost in the coupling. 50 loops in the edge of the curtains which couples the second. You shall make 50 tach of brass, and put the tach on the loops of the couples that's the tent together, and it may be one. And the remnant and the remains of the curtain of the tent, the half curtain of remains shall hang over the back side of the tabernacle, and a cubit on one side, and a cubit on the other side, for that remains in the length of the curtains of the tent. It shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle, on the side, and on that side, to cover it. And you shall make coverings of a tent of ram skin dyed red, and coverings above of antelope skins. You shall make boards of the tabernacle of shittim wood, standing up. 10 cubits shall be the length of the board. 1.5 cubits shall be the breadth of one board. 2 tenons shall there be in one board, set in order, one against another. Thus shall you make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And you shall make the boards of the tabernacle 20 boards in the south side southward. And you shall make 40 sockets of silver unto the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tendons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tendons. And for the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, there shall be 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And the sides of the tabernacle westward you shall make 6 boards, and 2 boards shall you make for the corners of the tabernacle in the 2 sides, and they shall be coupled together beneath, and they shall be coupled together above the head of all unto one ring. Thus shall it be for them both. They be for the 2 corners. And they shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And they shall make bars of shittim wood, 5 of the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards on the side of the tabernacle, for the 2 sides westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the board shall reach from end to end. You shall overlay the boards with the gold, and make rings of gold for the places for the bars. And you shall overlay the bars of gold. And you shall rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof, which was shown to you in the mount. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen for cunning work. With cherubim shall it be made. And you shall hang it upon 4 pillars of shittim wood, overlaid with gold. For their hooks shall be gold upon the 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang up the veil which is attached, which you may bring in thither within the veil, the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide into you between the holy place and the midst and the most holy. And you shall put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most high holy place. And you shall set the table without the veil, and the menorah over against the table on the side of the tabernacle toward the south. And you shall put the table in the north side. And you shall make hanging from the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, walk with the needlework. And you shall make for a hanging 5 pillars of shittim wood, and overlaid with gold, and their hooks gold. And you shall cast 5 sockets of brass for them.
Exodus 27, verse 1. And you shall make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. You shall make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same. And you shall overlay it with brass. And you shall make his pans receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. All the vessels thereof you shall make of brass, and you shall make Make 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof. And you shall put it under the 4 tops of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. And you shall make staves for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the staves shall be put in the rings, and the staves shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. Hollow with boards shall you make it, as it was showed you in the mount, so shall they make it. You shall make the court of the tabernacle. On the south side of the southward there shall be the hangings for the court of fine twined linen of 100 cubits long for one side. And the 20 pillars thereof and their 20 sockets shall be of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side in length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, It is 20 pillars and their 20 sockets of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, their sockets 10. And the breadth of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be a hanging of 20 cubits, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework. And the pillars shall be 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars round about the court shall be filleted with silver. The hook shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle, and all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. And you shall command the altar beaten for the light, cause the lamp to burn always. In the tabernacle of assembly, without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before Yahuwah. It shall be a statute forever until the generations on behalf of the children of Israel. Chapter 28, verse 1. And take unto you Aaron, your brother, and his sons to him, from among the children of Israel, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, and Aaron's sons. And you shall make holy garments for Aaron, the brother, for glory and for beauty. They may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, and a robe, and a embroidered coat, a turban, and a belt. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron, the brother, and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen with cunning work. It shall have the 2 shoulder pieces thereof, joined at the 2 pages thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the belt of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And you shall take 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel. 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest on the other stone, according to their birth. With the work of the engraver in stone, like the engravings of the signet. The 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. You shall make them to be set in ouches of gold, and you shall put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod, of 4 stones of memorial unto the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before Yahuwah upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And you shall make ouches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold for the ends of the pillars. Wreathen work shall you make them, and fasten the wreathen chains to the ouches. And you shall make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work, after the work of the ephod shall you make it. Of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shall you make it. 4 square it shall be being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And you shall set it in settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be sardius, and a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings, and the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel. 12, according to the 12 tribes. And you shall make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of wreathen work of pure gold. And you shall make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And you shall put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the breastplate, and the other 2 ends of the 2 rings chains of the ephod before it. And you shall make it 2 rings which the side of the ephod empty. And 2 other rings of gold you shall make, and you shall put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the 4th part thereof over against the other coupling thereof. And above
You shall do unto me in the priest's office. Take 1 young bullock and 2 rams without blemish, and a matzah cakes tempered with oil, and matzah wafers anointed with oil of wheaten flour, you shall make them. And you shall put them into one basket, and bring them in the basket with the bullocks of the 2 rams, and Aaron and his sons you shall bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and you shall wash them with water, and you shall take the garments and put them upon Aaron, the coat and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod and the breastplate, and gird him with the belt of the ephod. And you shall put the turban upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the turban. Then you shall take the anointed oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And you shall bring his sons, and put coats upon them. And you shall gird them with belts, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them, and the priest's office shall be theirs, for a perpetual state. And you shall consecrate Aaron and his sons, and you shall cause the bullock up to be brought before the tabernacle of the assembly. And Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. And you shall kill the bullock before Yahuwah, by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And you shall take the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And you shall take all the fat that covers the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. But the flesh of the bullock, and his skin, and his dung, you shall burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. And you shall slay the ram, and you shall take his blood, and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. And you shall cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of him and his legs, and put them unto his pieces, and unto his head. And you shall burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is a sending smoke offering unto Yahuwah. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And you shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. And then you shall kill the ram, and make his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot. Sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And you shall take the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him. And he shall be hallowed, and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. And you shall take of the ram the fat of the ram, and the fat that covers the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration. And 1 loaf of the bread, and 1 cake of the oiled bread, and 1 wafer out of the basket of the matzah that is before Yahuwah. And you shall put all in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and you shall wave them for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And you shall receive them of your hands, and burn them upon the altar for a sending smoke offering, for a sweet savor to Yahuwah. It is an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And you shall take the breast of the ram, Aaron's consecration, and wave it for a wave offering before Yahuwah, and it shall be your part. And you shall sanctify the breast of the wave offering, and the shoulder, and the heave offering, which is waved, and which is heaved up of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by statute forever from the children of Yasharel. For it is a heave offering, and it shall be a heave offering for the children of Yasharel in the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering unto Yahuwah. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated in them. And that son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days, when he comes into the tabernacle of the assembly to minister in the holy place. And you shall take a ram of the consecration, and see that his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram, and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. and they shall eat those things wherein the atonement was made, and to consecrate and sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught the flesh of the consecrations or of the bread remain unto the morning, then you shall burn the remainder with the fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shall you do unto Aaron and to his sons, according to all the things which I have commanded you. 7 days shall you consecrate them, and you shall offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for atonement, and you shall cleanse the altar when you have made an atonement for it, and you shall anoint it to sanctify it. 7 days you shall make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever touches the altar shall be holy. Now this that which you shall offer upon the altar, 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. The one lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at evening. And with the one lamb, a tenth deal of flour mingled with the 4th part of the hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of the hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer at evening, and shall do thereto according to the oblation of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. This shall be a continual ascending smoke offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly before Yahuwah, where I will meet you to speak there unto you. And there I will meet with the children of Yasharel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the assembly and the altar. I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell among the children of Yasharel, and will be their Elohim. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah Elohim, that brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, that I may dwell among them. I am Yahuwah Elohim. Chapter 30. And you shall make an altar to burn incense upon, of shittim wood shall you make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 squares shall it be, and 2 cubits shall be the height thereof. The horns thereof shall be of the same, and you shall overlay it with pure gold. The top thereof and the sides thereof round about, and the horns thereof, and you shall make it unto it a crown of gold round about. And 2 golden rings shall you make to it under the crown of it, by the 2 corners thereof, and upon the 2 sides of it shall you make it. And they shall be for places for the staves to bear it withal. And you shall make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and you shall put it before the veil that is by the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with you. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning when he dresses the lamps. He shall burn incense upon it. And when Aaron lights the lamps at evening, he shall burn incense upon it, and perpetual incense before Yahuwah throughout your generations. You shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor sending smoke smoke sacrifice, nor oblation, neither shall you pour drink offering thereon. And Aaron shall make the atonement upon the horns of it once in a year, with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once in a year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, when you take the sum of the children of Yasharel after their number, then shall you give every man a ransom for his soul unto Yahuwah. When you number them, there will be no plague among them. When you number them, this they shall give every one that passes among them that are numbered half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. A half shekel shall be the offering of Yahuwah. Everyone that passes among them that are numbered from 20 years old and above shall give an offering unto Yahuwah.
The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel, when they give an offering unto Yahuwah, to make an atonement for your souls. And you shall take the atonement money of the children of Yasharel, and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of the assembly, that it may be a memorial unto the children of Yasharel before Yahuwah, to make an atonement for your souls. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, You shall also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal, that you shall put it in between the tabernacle of the assembly and the altar, and you shall put water therein. For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat. When they go into the tabernacle of the assembly, they shall wash with water, that they die not. Or when they come near to the altar to minister, to burnt offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. So they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not. And it shall be a statute forever to them, even to him and to his seed throughout their generations. Moreover, Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Take also unto you principal spices, a pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and a sweet cinnamon half so much, even 250 shekels, and a sweet kalmas 250 shekels, and a cassia 500 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, and of the olive a hin. And you shall make it an oil of holy anointment, an anointment compound after the art of the apothecary. I think. It shall be holy anointing oil, and you shall anoint the tabernacle of the assembly therewith, and the ark of the testimony, and the table and all his vessels, and the menorah and his vessels, and the altar of incense, and the altar of ascending smoke, offering with all his vessels, and the laver and his foot. And you shall sanctify them, that they may be most holy. Whatsoever touches them shall be holy. And you shall anoint Aaron and his sons, and consecrate them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And you shall speak unto the children of Yasharel, saying, This shall be a holy anointing oil unto me throughout your generations. Upon man's flesh shall it be poured, neither shall ye make any other like it. After the composition of it, it is holy, and it shall be holy unto you. Whatsoever compounds any like it, or whosoever puts any of it upon a stranger, shall even be cut off from his people. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Take unto you sweet spices, stakes, and ancha, and galbanum, these sweet spices with pure frankincense. Of each shall there be like weight, and you shall make it a perfume and a confection after the ark of the tempered together, pure and holy. And you shall beat some of it very small, and put it before the testimony and the tabernacle of the assembly, where I will meet with you. It shall be unto you the most holy. And as for the perfume which you shall make, ye shall not make to yourselves according to the composition thereof. It shall be unto you holy for Yahuwah. Whosoever shall make like unto that to smell thereto shall even be cut off from his people.
Exodus 31. See, I have called by name the Tasel, the son of Uriah, the son of Kori, the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the Ruach Elohim, in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to devise cunning works, so to work in gold, and silver, and brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. And I beheld, I have given with him Ahalahah, the son of Ahakashamath, of the tribe of Dan, and in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted I have put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded you, the tabernacle of the assembly and the ark of the testimony, and the mercy seat that is thereupon, and all the furniture of the tabernacle, and all the table and its furniture, and the pure menorah with all his furniture, and the altar of incense, and the altar of the ascending smoke offering with all his furniture, and the laver and his foot, and the clothes of the service, and the holy garments for Aaron and the priests, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense for the holy place. According to all that I have commanded you, shall they do. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto all the children of Israel, saying, Truly, my Shabbat ye shall guard. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am Yahuwah, the Kodeshim. You shall guard the Shabbat, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death, for whoever does any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Shabbat of rest, holy to Yahuwah. Whoever does any work in the Sabbath, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall guard the Shabbat, to keep the Shabbat throughout their generations for perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever, for in 6 days Yahuwah made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And he gave unto Moshe, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 sapphires of testimony, sapphire stones, written with the finger of Elohim. 32. And when the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and themselves said to him, Up, make us Elohim, which shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the daughters, and bring them unto me, all the people broke off all the earrings which were in their ears, and brought them to El-Aron. The goat, a molten calf, and they said, These saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is the feast of Yahuwah, and smoke offerings, and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink. Go, get you down, for your people, which you brought out of the land of Mitzrayim, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be your Elohim, O Israel, which have brought you up out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, that I may consume them. And I will make you a great nation, of you a great nation. And Moshe besought Yahuwah Eloheinu, and said, Yahuwah, why does your wrath wax hot against your people, which you have brought forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Mitzrayim speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants, to whom you swore 7 oaths by your own self, and and said to them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that have spoken of you will I give to your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahuwah repented of the evil which he thought to do unto this people. And Moshe turned and went down from the mount, and the two sapphires of the testimony were in his hand. Sapphires were written on both of their sides. On one side and on the other were they written. And the sapphires were the work of Elohim, and the writing was the writing of Elohim, graven upon the sapphires. And when Yeshua heard the noise of the people, as they shouted, he said unto Moshe, there is a noise of war in the camp. And he said, is it not the voice of them that shout for mastery? Whether is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome? But the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass as soon as he came near to the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing. And Moshe's anger waxed hot, and he cast the sapphires out of his hand and broke them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire. He ground it to powder and strewed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it. And Moshe said unto Aaron, what did this people unto you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Adonai wax hot. You know the people, that they are set on mischief. For they said to me, make us an Elohim, for which go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of Mitzrayim, we know not what is become of him. And I said unto them, whosoever has any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. And when Moshe saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked under their own chain among their enemies, then Moshe stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on Yahuwah's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Elohai of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from the gate to gate throughout the camp. Slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. And the children of Levi did according as to the word of Moshe. And there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men. For Moshe had said, consecrate yourselves today to Yahuwah, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, and that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe said unto the people, you have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto El Yahuwah. Perchance I shall make an atonement for your sin. And Moshe returned to El Yahuwah and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them Elohai of gold. Yet now, if you will forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray you, out of your sefer, which you have written. And Moshe returned unto El Yahuwah and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them Elohai of gold. Yet now, if you will forgive their sin, and if not, blot me out, I pray you, out of your sefer which you have written. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out of my sefer. Therefore now, go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto you. Behold, my angel shall go before you. Nevertheless, in the day when I will visit their sin upon them. And Yahuwah plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Depart and go up hence, you we have a leak. Yeah, I was dropping on this. Here. Okay.
Sean. Oh, we're gonna move over a little bit. No. I need to move over. It's coming down right here. John, move over there, please. It's water's coming down right here. Oh, it's soaking up the. Yeah. I should have caught that earlier. Where were you, John?
Okay, we're going to resume. Let's go ahead and quiet down again, please, for the word.
Okay. 32. Yet now, if you will forgive their sins, and if not, block me, I pray you, I will give supper which you have written. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out my supper. Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto you. Behold, my angel shall go before you. Nevertheless, in the day which I visit, I will visit their sin upon them. And Yahuwah plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron had made.
And when the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aharon, and said unto him, Up, make us Elohim, which shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of Mitzrayim, we know not what has become of him. And Aharon said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your women, of your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them into Aharon. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. Just making sure you're all with me. Yeah. Right on. Well done. He loves to test his people, right? Chapter 33. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Depart, and go up hence, you and the people, which you have brought up out of the land of Mitzrayim, unto the land which I swore 7 oaths unto Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob, saying, Unto your seed will I give it. And I will send an angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Emori, the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Yabusi, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go up in the midst of you, for you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume you in the way. And when the people heard the evil report, they mourned, and no man did put on his ornaments. For Yahuwah had said unto Moshe, Say unto the children of Yasharel, ye are a stiff-necked people. I will come up to you in the midst of you in a moment and consume you. Therefore now put off your ornaments from you, that I may know what to do unto you. And the children of Yasharel stripped themselves of their ornaments by Mount Horeb. And Moshe took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the assembly. And it came to pass that everyone which sought Yahweh went out unto the tabernacle of the assembly, which was without the camp. And it came to pass when Moshe went out unto the tabernacle that all the people rose up and stood, every man at his door of his tent, and looked after Moshe until he was gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass as Moshe entered into the tabernacle that the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And Yahuwah talked with Moshe. And all the people saw the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door. And all the people rose up and worshipped, every man in his tent's door. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe face to face, as a man speaks unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp. But his servant Yahusha, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. And Moshe said unto El Yahuwah, see, you say unto me, bring up this people, and you have not let me know at whom you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found grace in my sight. Now, therefore I pray you, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now your way, that I may know you, that I may find grace in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people. And he said, my presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest. And he said unto him, if your presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein shall it be known here that I and your people have found grace in your sight? Is it not in that you go with us? So shall we be separated, I and your people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, I will do this thing also that you have spoken, for you have found grace in my sight, and I know you by name. And he said, I beseech you, show me your glory. And he said, I will make my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of Yahuwah before you, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I show mercy. He said, you cannot see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. And Yahuwah said, behold, there is a place by me, and you shall stand upon the rock. And it shall come to pass while my glory passes by, that I will put a cleft in the rock, and will cover you with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away my hand, and you shall see my back parts, but my face you shall not be seen. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, hew you 2 sapphire stones, like unto the first, and I will write upon these sapphires the words that were in the first sapphires which you broke. And be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present yourself there to me in the top of the mounts. And no man shall come up with you, neither let any man be seen throughout all the mountain. Let neither the flocks nor the herds feed before that mount. And he hewn 2 sapphire stones, like unto the first. And Moshe rose up early in the morning, and went up into Mount Sinai, as Yahuwah had commanded him. And he took in his hands the 2 sapphire stones. And Yahuwah descended in a cloud, and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah passed by before him, and proclaimed, Yahuwah, Yahuwah El, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation. And Moshe made haste, and bowed his head toward the earth, and worshipped. He said, if now I have found grace in your sight, O Adonai, let my Adonai, I pray you,
go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquities and our sins, and take us for your inheritance.
And he said, Behold, I cut a covenant before all your people, and I will do wonders such as not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among which you are shall see the work of Yahuwah. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with you. Guard at that which I command you this day. Behold, I drive out before you the Emori, and the Kenaim, and the Chetaim, and the Perizim, and the Chivai, and the Yasubi. Take heed to yourself, lest you cut a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither you go, lest it be for a snare in the midst of you. But you shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their Asherah poles. For you shall worship no other El, for Yahuwah Chana is my name. He is jealous El. Lest you cut a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go whoring after their Elohim, and do sacrifice unto their Elohim, and one call you, and you eat of his sacrifices, and take of their daughters unto your sons, and their daughters, and go a whoring after their Elohim, and make your sons go a whoring after their Elohim. You shall make no molting Elohim. The feast of Matzah shall you guard 7 days. You shall eat matzah, as I commanded you, and in the time of the month of Aviv. For in the month of Aviv you came out from Mitzrayim. All that opens the womb is mine, and every firstling among your cattle, whether an ox or a sheep, that is male, but the firstlings of an ass you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you redeem him not, then you shall break his neck. And all the firstborn of your sons you shall redeem, and none shall of the fear before me empty. 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest. In earing time and in harvest you shall rest. And you shall observe the feast of Katzari, of the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and of the feast of Achsi at the year's end. Thrice in the year shall you and all your men, children, appear before Adonai Yahuwah, the Elohai of Yasharel. For I will cast out the nations before you, and enlarge your borders. Neither shall any man desire your land, when you shall go up to appear before Yahuwah Elohai thrice in the year. You shall not offer any of the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of Pesach be left until the morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring unto the house of Yahuwah Elohai. You shall not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Write these words, for after the tenor of these words I have cut a covenant with you and with Yasharel. He was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. Neither did he eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the sapphires the words of the covenant, the 10 Devarim. And it came to pass when Moshe came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 sapphires of testimony in Moshe's hand, when he came down from the mountain, that Moshe knew not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. And when Aaron and all the children of Yasharel saw Moshe, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. And Moshe called unto them, and Aharon and all the rulers of the assembly returned unto him. And Moshe talked with them. And afterward all the children of Yasharel came near, and he gave them in commandment all that Yahuwah had spoken with him in Mount Sinai, until Moshe had done speaking with them, and he put a veil on his face. But when Moshe went in before Yahuwah to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spoke unto the children of Yasharel, which he was commanded. And the children of Yasharel saw the face of Moshe, that the skin of Moshe's face shone. And Moshe put the veil upon his face again, until he went to speak with him.
And Moshe gathered all the assembly of the children of Yasharel together and said unto them, These are the words which Yahuwah has commanded that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you a holy day, a Sabbath rest to Yahuwah. And whosoever does work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall bring no kindle for a fire throughout your habitations upon the Shabbat. And Moshe spoke unto all the assembly of the children of Yasharel, saying, This is the thing which Yahuwah has commanded, saying, Take ye from among you an offering unto Yahuwah. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it, an offering of Yahuwah, gold, and silver, and brass, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and antelope skins, and shittim wood, and oil for the light, and spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, and onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate. And every wise-hearted among you shall come and make all that Yahuwah has commanded, the tabernacle, his tent, and his covering, his taches, and his boards, and his bars, his pillars, and his sockets, the ark, and the staves thereof, with the mercy seat, and the veil of the covering, the table and his staves, and all his vessels, and the showbread, the menorah also for the light, his furniture, and his lamps with the oil for the light, and the incense altar, and his staves, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the door of the entering of the tabernacle, the altar of the ascending smoke offering, with his brazen grate, his staves, and all his vessels, the laver and his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars and their sockets, and the hanging for the door of the court, the pins of the tabernacle, and the pins of the court, and their cords, the cloths of service, to do service in the holy place, and the garments for Aharon the priest, and the garments of his sons, to minister in the priest's office. And all the assembly of the children of Yasharel departed from the presence of Moshe. And they came, everyone whose heart stirred him up, and everyone whom his ruach made willing. And they brought Yahuwah's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the assembly, and for all of his service, and for the holy garments. And they came, both men and women, as many were willing-hearted, and they brought bracelets and earrings and rings and tablets and jewels of all gold, and every man that offered an offering of gold unto Yahuwah. And every man with whom was found blue and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and red skins of rams, and antelope skins brought them. Everyone that did offer an offering of silver and brass brought Yahuwah's offering. And every man with whom was found shittim wood for any work of the service brought it. And when the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands, they brought that which they had spun, both of blue and of purple and of scarlet and fine linen. And all the women whose heart stirred them up in wisdom spun of goat's hair. And the rulers brought onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate, and spice and oil for the light, and for the anointing oil for the sweet incense. And the children of Yasharel brought a willing offering unto Yahuwah, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring for all manner of work which Yahuwah commanded to be made by the hand of Moshe. And Moshe said unto the children of Yasharel, See, Yahuwah has called by name Bezalel the son of Uri, the son of Hori, of the tribe of Yehudah, and he has filled him with the Ruach Elohim and wisdom, and an understanding and a knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and in the cutting of stones, and to set them, and in the carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. And he has put in his heart that he may teach both he and Holiah, the son of Ahisamach, from the tribe of Dan. Then he is filled with wisdom of heart, to work all manner of work of the engraver, of the cunning workman, and of the embroiderer, in blue and in purple and in scarlet and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work. Then wrought Bezalel and Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man in whom Yahweh had put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that Yahweh has commanded. And Moshe called Bezalel and Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man in whose heart Yahweh had put wisdom, even everyone whose heart stirred him up to come into the work to do it. And they received of Moshe all the offering which the children of Yasharel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary, to make it withal. And they brought yet unto him 3 offerings every morning. And all the wise men that wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they made. And they spoke unto Moshe, saying, The people bring much more than enough in the service of the work which Yahweh had commanded to make. And Moshe gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, Let neither man or woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing, for the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. And every wise-hearted man from among them that wrought the work of the tabernacle made 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet. With cherubim of cunning work made he them. And the length of one curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. And the curtains were all of one size. And he coupled the 5 curtains, one into another. And the other 5 curtains he coupled one into another. And he made loops of blue on the edge of the curtain from the sleeve edge in the coupling. Likewise, he made in the uttermost side another curtain, in the coupling of the second. 50 loops made he in one curtain, and 50 loops he made in the edge of the curtain, which was in the coupling of the second. The loops held one curtain to another. And he made 50 taches of gold, and coupled the curtains one unto another with the taches, so it became one tabernacle. And he made curtains of goat's hair for the tent over the tabernacle, and 11 curtains he made them. The length of one curtain was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits was the breadth of one curtain, and 11 curtains were of one size. And he coupled the 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and he made 50 loops upon the uttermost edge of the curtain in the coupling, and 50 loops made he of couples the second. And he made 50 taches of brass to couple the tent together, that it might be one. He made a covering of the tent of ram skins dyed red, but a covering of antelope skins above that. And he made the boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood, standing up. And the length of the board was 10 cubits, and the breadth of the board was 1 cubit and a half. One board had 2 tenons, equally distant from one another. Thus he did make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And he made the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, southward, and 40 sockets of silver he made under 20 boards. 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And for the other side of the tabernacle, which was toward the north corner, he made 20 boards. And there were 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 boards. And 2 boards made he for the corners of the tabernacle with the 2 sides. And they were coupled beneath, and coupled together at the head thereof, to one ring. Thus he did to both of them in both the corners. And there were 8 boards, and their sockets were 16 sockets of silver. Under every board 2 sockets. And he made bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards on the tabernacle for the sides westward. And he made the middle bar to shoot through the boards from one end to the other. And he overlaid the boards with gold. And he made rings of gold to be places for the bars, and he overlaid the bars with gold. And he made a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen with cherubim. Made he it of cunning work. And he made thereunto 4 pillars of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. And their hooks were of gold, and he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. And he made a hanging for the tabernacle door of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen and needlework, and the 5 pillars of it which with their hooks. And he overlaid their chapters, and their fillets of gold, and their 5 sockets were of brass.
So this might be a little different, but this is what's in my heart. This is me stepping out in faith, so just please have a little grace. Two cubes, and they have and a cubit and a half was
pure gold, within and without, made a crown of gold to round about. And he cast forth its 4 rings of gold to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon the side, one side of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it. And he made staves of sugar wood and overlaid them with gold, and he put forth the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark to bear the ark. And he made the mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And he made 2 young of gold, beaten out of 1 piece. He laid them, and on the 2 ends of the mercy seat, 1 a cube, and on the end on each side, another a cube on the other side, the other end of that side. Out of the mercy seat may he appear beyond the 2 ends thereof. Spread out their wings on high, and covered with their wings over the mercy seat, with their faces one to another, even to the mercy steward, were the faces of the children. And he made the table of shitty wood, 2 cubits by the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. Also he made thereunto a border of a handcraft round about, and made a crown of gold for the border round about. And he cast forth it with 4 rings of gold, and put forth the rings upon the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet thereof, over against the borderings. The pieces for staves to bear the table, and made the staves of sugar, and overlaid them with gold to bear the table. And he made the vessels which were upon the table, his dishes and his spoons, and his bowls and his covers to cover with all of pure gold, and made the menorah of pure gold, of the word made up, he made a menorah. flowers were the same, and 6 branches going out on the sides thereof, 3 branches of our menorah out of one side thereof, and 3 branches of the menorah on the other side thereof. 3 bulls were made after the fashion of horns, and 1 branch, and 1 burned a flower, and 3 bulls made like olives in another branch, and 1 burned a flower. So about the 6 branches growing out of the menorah, and in the menorah were 4 bulls made like almonds, his knobs and his flowers, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, according to the branches glowing out of it. The knops and the branches were the same. All of them was beaten. Work up your gold. And he made 7 lamps and his snuffers, and he snuffled the shoes of pure gold. All the talons of pure gold made it, and all the vessels thereof. And he made the incense of Turkish wood, the length of it a cubit, and the breadth of it a cubit. It was 4 square, and the 2 cubits was the height of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with purple, both the top of it and the sides thereof round about, and the horns of it. Also he made it into a crown of gold round about, and made 2 rings of gold for it under the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it, upon the 2 sides thereof to be placed, for the stakes to bear it withal. And he made the staves of silver, and overlaid them with gold. And he made the holy anointing oil, and the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the apothecary. And he made the altar of ascending smoke, offering shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits the breadth thereof. It was 4 square, and 3 cubits the height thereof. And he made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with glass. He made all the vessels of the altar, the pots, the shovels, and the basin, and the fleshwood, and the fire pans. All the vessels thereof he made of glass, and he made for an altar a brazen graven of network under the compassion, the compass thereof, beneath into the midst of it. And he cast for him the ends of the grave of grass to be placed for slaves. And he made the stage of sheer wood and overlaid with grass. And he put the stage into the rings on the sides of the altar to bear with all. And he made the altar with all the gold. And he made the layer of grass and the foot of it grass of the licking grasses of the women of assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of assembly. And he made the court on the south side, southward, the hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. The pillars were 20, and the brazen sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets were of silver. And for the north side, the hangings were 100 cubits. The pillars were 20, and the sockets brass 20. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets of silver. And for the west side, the hangings of 50 cubits. The pillars 10, their sockets 10. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets of silver. And for the east side, 50 cubits. The hangings on the one side of the gate were 15 cubits. The pillars 3 and the sockets 3. And for the other side of the gate, on his hands and on their hands were hangings on 15 cubits. The pillars 3 and the sockets 3. All the hangings of the court round about the fine twined linen, and the sockets for the pillars were of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, and the overlay of their chapters of silver, and all the pillars of the courts of filled with silver, and the hanging for the gate of the court was needlework of blue with purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, and 20 cubits was the width, and the height of the breadth was 5 cubits, and silver to the hangings of the court, and the pillars were 4, and the sockets of brass 4, and the hooks of silver, and the overlaying of the chambers, and the fillets of silver, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and of the court round about the brass. This is the song of the tabernacle, even the tabernacle, a testimony as it was counted according to the commandments of Moshe for the service of the by the hand of the Lord, son to Aaron the priest, and that shall the son of Uri, the son of Uri, and the tribe of Yahuwah made all thy Yahuwah command of Moshe. And silver of them was numbered as the assembly was 100 talents, and 1,703 score, and 15 shekels after the shekels of the sanctuary. A barrel for every man, that is half a shekel, and for the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone open to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And the talons of the silver were cast, the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets of the 100 talents, a talent for a socket, and of 1,775 shekels. He made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their chapters, and filled them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And there they made the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grave for all the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the court, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about.
Praise, yeah, that was awesome. All right, we got 2 more chapters. Just so y'all know in here, we're going to postpone dinner until about 6:30, so you'll have time to go back and get some meals ready for dinner tonight. All right, Shemot, Exodus 39. And of the blue and purple and the scarlet, they made cloths of service, to do the service in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aharon, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And they made the ephod of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates, and cut it into wires to work it in the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it, to couple it together. By the 2 edges was it coupled together. And the belt of his ephod that it was upon was of the same, according to the work thereof, of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And they wrought onyx stones, enclosed in ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven, with the names of the children of Yasharel. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Yasharel, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was foursquare. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being doubled. And they set in it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This was the first row. And the second row, an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a lapure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Yasharel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the ends of wreathen work of pure gold. And they made 2 ouches of gold, and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains they fastened in 2 ouches. and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, upon the border of it, which was on the side of the ephod inwards. And they made 2 other golden rings, and put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart of it, over against the other coupling thereof, above the belt of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by his rings unto the rings of the ephod, with a lace of blue, that it might be above the belt of the ephod, that the breastplate might be not loosed from the ephod, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work of all blue, and there was a hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of a habergeon, with a band round about the hole, that it should not rend. And they made upon the hems of the robe wrought pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twined linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put on the bells between the pomegranates, upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates, a bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, round about the hem of the robe, to minister in, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aharon, and for his sons, and a turban of fine linen, and goodly bonnets of fine linen, and linen breeches of fine twined linen, and a belt of fine twined linen, and blue, and purple, and scarlet of needlework, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And they made the plate of a holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it in a writing, like to the engravings of a signet, Kodesh Yahuwah. And they tied it unto a lace of blue to fasten it on high upon the turban, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of assembly finished, and the children of Yasharel did it according to all that Yahuwah commanded Moshe, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moshe, the tent and all his furniture, his tacks, his boards, his bars and his pillars, and his sockets, and his covering of ram skins dyed red, and the covering of antelope skins, and the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony, the staves thereof, and the mercy seat, the table and all the vessels thereof, and the showbread, the pure menorah, with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for the lights, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and for the hangings for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his grate of brass, his staves, and all his vessels, the laver, and his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars, and his sockets, and the hangings for the court gate, his cords, and his pins, all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of the assembly. The cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aharon the priest, and his sons' garments to minister in the priest's office, according to all that Yahuwah commanded Moshe. So the children of Yasharel made all the work. And Moshe did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as Yahuwah commanded. Even so had they done it, and Moshe blessed them. Chapter 40. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, On the first day of the first month shall you set up the tabernacle of the assembly, and you shall put therein the ark of the testimony, the cover of the ark, the veil, and you shall set the tabernacle, and set it in order the things that are to be set in order upon it. You shall bring in the menorah, and light the lamps thereof, and you shall set the altar for the gold before the ark of the testimony, and put the hanging of the door of the tabernacle to the tabernacle. And you shall set the altar of the ascending smoke offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of assembly. And you shall set the laver between the tent of the assembly and the altar, and shall put the water therein. And you shall set up the court round about, and hang up the hanging at the court gates. And you shall take the anointing oil, and anoint the tabernacle, and all that is therein, and shall hallow it, and all the vessels thereof. It shall be set apart. And you shall anoint the altar of the ascending smoke offering, and all his vessels, and sanctify the altar, and it shall be an altar most holy. And you shall anoint the laver in his foot, and sanctify it. And you shall bring Aharon and his sons unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and wash them with water. And you shall put upon Aharon the holy garments, and anoint him, and sanctify him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And you shall bring his sons, and clothe them with coats. And you shall anoint them as you anointed their father, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. For their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. Thus did Moshe, according to all that Yahuwah commanded him, so did he. And it came to pass, in the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up. And Moshe reared up the tabernacle, and fastened his sockets, and set up the boards thereof, and put in the bars thereof, and reared up his pillars, And he spread abroad the tent over the tabernacle, and put the covering of the tent above upon it, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he took and put the testimony into the ark, and set the staves on the ark, and put the mercy seat above upon the ark. And he brought the ark into the tabernacle, and set up the veil of the covering, and covered the ark of the testimony, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he put the table in the tent of assembly, upon the side of the tabernacle northward, without the veil. And he set the bread in order upon it before Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he put the menorah in the tent of the assembly, over against the table, on the side of the tabernacle southward. And he lighted the lamps before Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he put the golden altar in the tent of the assembly before the veil, and he burnt sweet incense thereon, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he set up the hanging at the door of the tabernacle, and he put the altar of the ascending smoke offering by the door of the tabernacle of the tent of the assembly. And he offered upon it as the ascending smoke offering and the oblation, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he set the laver between the tent of the assembly and the altar, and water there to wash withal. And Moshe and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet thereat, when they went into the tent of the assembly, and when they came near to the altar, they washed, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he reared up the court around about the tabernacle and the altar, to set up the hanging of the court gate. So Moshe finished the work. Then a cloud covered the tent of the assembly, and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. And Moshe was not able to enter into the tent of the assembly, because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Yasharel went onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day it was taken up. For the cloud of Yahweh was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was on it by night, in the sight of all the house of Yasharel throughout all their journeys. Hallelujah! Praise God. Listen, if you don't think Yahweh sees all of us here in this cold, sitting here, listening to his most Kodesh book on this most Kodesh day, you're kidding yourselves. Praise be to Yahweh.
Praise be to Yahuwah!
It's great to be here with people like you who will sit through this cold and listen to this amazing book. Amen. All right, so quick prayer, and we're going to disperse. We're going to postpone the shofar blowing. I wanted to finish this book today, so we kind of went over on time. Like I said earlier, we're going to postpone dinner at least an hour, 6:30, maybe 7. I want you to have ample time to go back and make something for a nice potluck. Plus, we have tons of unleavened bread to eat, courtesy of the milling and baking team. So let's pray real quick. Allah Yahuwah, we just come before you and thank you, Father. Thank you for allowing us to gather together like this across the four corners of your earth, Father. Thank you for assembling us, allowing us to celebrate your most set-apart feast. Thank you for allowing us to hear your words together as a congregation. And may your Ruach continue to be among us, and let no unclean thing be upon us. Father, in Yahushua's mighty name we pray. Amen.
If I can get your attention for just a minute. The three dumpsters that we have out over here on the side, there is a light blue dumpster that has flasks on it. Is there anything else you want to live? That is full. Okay, it was overflowing. We pulled off of that. If you have any trash, please put it into the dumpsters that are on the